Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7, and I am back with yet another 2 million credit guide to try and help you earn them 2 million credits as quickly and as easily as possible. So for this week we are at Fuji in Group 2 on racing medium tyres. You can use any car that you like within Group 2. I do recommend the NSX, so it is particularly good at this combination, especially with it being the short version, which is possibly the first time I've ever driven this version as a short layout. But yeah, remember, if these guides do help you out, simply give it a like, subscribe to the channel, let me know in the comment section how much it's helped you out. That all helps the channel, helps the algorithm, helps me do this full-time as a job. So I'm really grateful to anyone who takes the time to do that. So let's get into this and how to take part in this event. So simply go into sport mode in the top right hand corner of your screen, and from there you'll be greeted with the online time trial screen. So click on that. You'll then have two options. We already have a guide for Deep Forest on the channel, so if you need a guide for that, click on the channel, go into the 2 million credit playlist and it'll be there. But we're going to go to Fuji in Group 2. Now my predicted gold, currently it's at a 129.4. I predict it's going to go at least to a 129.0, which will probably mean you'll need to get into the 128s for gold, 130.87, something like that for silver, and a 30, very low 35 for bronze. Now if you want to load up my time trial, you can load it up from the Ghost. It's there, it's in the top 10, P3 in the world currently. It's probably going to go massively down that list though, but you can load that up. It'll be there all the way throughout the time trial event, because I'm not going to try and improve it because it's going to be a gold time. So let's get on with this guide and help you get them credits and show you how it's done as quickly and as easily as possible. So going into turn 1, we are going to be looking for the 150 and the 100 board, because we're going to break right in between them. So as we come here, you're going to see that there. You're going to break pretty much dead in the center of the 150 and the 100 board. That is your braking reference, and you can see there the braking inputs going in there, just started to go in, and now we're going to brake in a straight line, heavy braking, downshifting, and then just before the white line across the road there, you're going to start turning into this corner, and you really want to get it squared off. So trail brake in, and then once you've got the rotation, lift off of everything, then onto the throttle as you're coming out. Now be careful on the throttle here. You don't want to go initially 100% throttle, because if you do that, you're probably going to spin the car. You want to be like 80, 85, 90% throttle, something around there. Now we're going to be looking for the next braking, and again, in between the 100 and the 50 is your reference pretty much for this really fast left-hand corner. You want to get this left-hand tyre up onto the green Astro. So you can see the braking input going in now. And as we turn it in, you can see you want to get as close to the bollard, but do not hit that bollard, because it will frustrate you, because it will eliminate your lap. So you see the Ghost in front gets very close. Unfortunately for me though, I kind of mess this up a bit and don't get it up onto the green Astro as much as I would have liked. So a little bit of time loss there. Now one thing you have to make sure here is your left hand tyre returns to the white line before the end of the curb, because if you don't do that, you will also invalidate your lap. So through this long right hand corner, it's all about playing with the brake there, lifting off the throttle, tiny bit of braking, trail braking you see, and just getting that car rotated. Now what you can see is I like to take a very narrow line. You want to get your right hand tyre to get as close to this end apex as possible along that white line, and then you can get on the throttle and really accelerate through this corner. Now from this point, you can see as soon as we got the car almost straightened up, you're going to brake before that little red signpost on the right hand side, getting on the brakes and getting the car over to the right hand side, and then swinging it into this left hand corner. Now you can see the trail braking going in, and then up into third gear before I get on that throttle and go over the curb. I took quite a lot of curb then. It seemed to help me out. I caught up to the Ghost quite a lot. Now be careful again here. Left hand tyre needs to stay on that curb. If you go past the curb, you're going to probably invalidate the lap. So just be cautious of that on the exit. Now with this obviously being the short layout of Fuji, you're going to be taking the next corner a little bit different. So we're going to look for the change of colour on the tarmac there. That's going to be your braking reference for this right hand corner. So just as we approach it, you can see onto the brakes, and now we're going to be chucking it into this right hand corner. So what you want to do is get the right hand tyre as much over the green Astro as possible. So you're going to go down to third gear, attack the corner, trail brake up to the curb, and then as you're getting on the curb, you're going to be back onto that throttle quite aggressively. You can see you want to be on the throttle before you hit the curb. Just a little lift off the throttle just in case. Nearly lost the rear on the exit there. That's lost me a little bit of time, and it's unsettled me a bit into the braking zone. So I actually brake a little bit later. You can see you want to brake at the start of the curb on the left hand side there. that is your reference. And now you want to be trail braking it in, but because I've braked a fraction late, I'm going to struggle to get it into this curb. So you can see right hand tyre is a little bit wider than the Ghost I'm chasing. I've lost a little bit of time there, but we do manage to get on the power quite early, up into third gear. Use third gear for acceleration here, do not use second gear. And then at the end of the curb, that is your reference for the braking. You can see that little bit of white at the end of the curb. Using that as a reference onto the brakes, pretty much dead on that end. And then you want to try and go to the middle of the track, rotate it in, down to first gear for rotation, then back up to second gear before you get up to the curb on the left there. Now, left-hand tyre again, up onto the Astro. Be careful of the bollard again, because you hit that invalidated lap. So again, on the exit here, though, you can be very aggressive with the track links. You can see the Ghost I'm chasing using a lot more than what I did. And now into the final corner. This is a tricky braking zone. I just use line of sight, just the visual reference of how close to the corner you are, and just try and make sure you brake early rather than late. So trail braking it in, get it into this apex nice and early, up into second gear before you get on that throttle, and then slowly feed the throttle in. And trust me, don't be too aggressive there, because it's easy to spin the car if you get too aggressive and just end up in the wall. So very cautious on that exit, and then just power your way all the way to the finishing line. You can see I actually stay in fifth gear here, because there's no point changing gear just before the finishing line. You're going to get a little bit more pace if you just stay in fifth. So we go over the line on a 126.901. Pretty happy with that lap. Could definitely be better. I definitely think there's a 0.7 in it for me. You could see from the mistakes that we did on that lap. But let's have a little watch from the chase camera, and we'll actually take a look at them mistakes again. So going into turn one, in between that 150 and the 100 board, rotated and did turn one quite well actually. We gained, I think, on turn one. Did it pretty much spot on, used all the curb on the exit, and then again through this really fast corner. Now you're going to see how much I missed the apex. So have a little look here. You can see there was a massive gap between the bollard and my car. So there was there's time to be gained on that, a good 10th maybe through this section. But I did do this corner quite nice. Got it rotated, got it over to the right hand side, and really flung it in and got into that third gear before we got on the power, and used all the track on the left there. You can see the left hand tyre just fractionally in the limits, very close to getting a penalty, I have to say. Now into this right hand corner, you can see where we got a little bit aggressive on the throttle. Have to be careful. You can see got aggressive on the throttle, nearly lost control of the car, but saved it, and that just cost us a little bit as we went a little bit deep into that braking zone, but did rescue it. And then this corner we did pretty well to get it back rotated in, down to first gear, then up to second gear before we got on the throttle. And again, use that exit space on the right hand side there, because it will gain you time. And into that final corner, again, cautious on that throttle, second gear, careful. You can see I'm 90% throttle before I go to that 100%, because I'm not just going to floor it. If you do, you're going to be spinning 360s, and then all the way to that finishing line in fifth gear. And yeah, a pretty solid lap. Hopefully this will help you out. Let me know in the comment section if it does, and I'll be looking forward to doing more of these in the future. We do them every single week, so do get subscribed to the channel and give it a like, because it is a massive help to me and the channel. So yeah, I'll see you for more of these in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone.